Wow! Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's me, Arian, coming to you live from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. It's February 24, 2025, around 8 p.m. here, currently in Windsor. But wow, it's been what 3, 4 days I haven't been um, doing the go lives. I think the last one was last week Thursday, and it's because I wasn't really feeling well last week Friday, and then we've been busy, during the weekend. I myself, I haven't been doing the go lives since last Thursday, but I've been busy in my personal life, family life, and even in the business because I've been doing I'm going to be launching a new ad soon. I do have a running ad on Facebook in Meta, Facebook and Instagram, but of course I'm trying to optimize and do more specific targeting. Want to get my ideal audience for the business, and so I'm gonna release or launch a new ad again very very soon. So I'm still editing it. That's why I've been busy in the past this past weekend. But hello everybody, how are you doing today? It's a Monday, and I hope that earlier today you've been motivated, inspired to do whatever it is that you do on a Monday. If you have a job, if you have work to do, or if you're a stay at home parent, mom or dad, I hope you had a great time with your kids, with your family, loved ones, even maybe pets if you have. But yeah, so for me, during the weekend we only stayed at home, I believe. Yeah, we did. Last Saturday we went to Sarnia, Ontario, because the kids have the Taekwondo training camp in one of the dojos in southwestern Ontario. It's Sarnia Olympic Taekwondo, and it was a fun event for the kids. It's their first time to join that kind of event here, especially that they're now under Masters Taekwondo Academy. What else? Too bad we weren't able to go to church because we go to church on Saturdays. And I worked yesterday, so it was Sunday. I worked yesterday at home, and then we just stayed. We just enjoyed the company of each other, watched movies, series, and then did home cooked meals for the family. So that's what I did over the weekend. And yeah, last week I wasn't really feeling well because of my period, but I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm usually like that when I'm gonna have my when I'm having my PMS, the monthly female issues that we have. So yeah. So earlier today, I actually have a good news later before we end this go live session. So I hope you can tune in for that. But before anything else, let me just introduce myself first. If this is the first time that you are seeing me, again, I'm Ariane, and I'm a Filipina immigrant currently living here in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, with my husband and 2 kids. I'm originally from from Bulacan, Philippines. So Bulacania po. Very Tagalog. Yeah, and I used to be a software engineer, an SAP programmer back in the Philippines for 12 years. Uh, I've tried to climb the corporate ladder when I was there. I've reached associate manager position before our family decided to move here in Canada in 2022. So I started here as a student. I studied project management, juggled multiple jobs as well. I started as a cleaner, and then I got hired as move-in coordinator and concierge in a rental property management company in Toronto. And then last year we moved here in Windsor. So my husband was doing the same. He was also juggling multiple jobs back then, but now we are both employed as IT analysts here in Windsor. So, alongside with it, alongside our jobs, our work, of course, it's very expensive here in Canada. um, I knew because actually we just received a rent increase this afternoon. So the rent's gonna be increasing again this June. So yeah, the goods are skyrocketing, inflation's high, and so we had to find a way to at least add an income stream, supplement our income as IT analysts as well. So that is why we started this online business. And in our online business, we help ambitious parents and professionals like us build a smarter income stream and enjoy more precious moments with family, especially if you have kids. So that is very important for us as parents. So tonight, our topic is all about yeah, so I've actually watched a short form video earlier this morning, and this is what I realized from that short form video. It was just like a snap, and I just remembered, what happened in my 20s. So I thought about, talking about or discussing these two biggest mistakes that I made in my 20s. I thought of sharing this with you guys because um, this is not just for the people who are in their 20s. It's also applicable for people who are in their 30s, 40s, most especially if you're still working, if you're a working professional, because these things are these things I haven't even realized um, just recently, right? And I thought of sharing these things with you. So the first one actually is, if you are my friend, you know that I've been kind of adventurous with a lot of things. I've tried many things in the past, but I can still say this to myself: this is mistake number one. I didn't really explore enough when I was in my 20s. And I totally believe that this is true. I thought of this when I was watching the short form video because um I guess I was conditioned to graduating my bachelor's degree, and then I thought of uh applying for work, and immediately I wanted to get hired immediately after I graduated in college. And luckily, I got in a call center company May, June, July, I think it was just 1 2 months after graduation that I got hired in my first job in the call center company. But that is, I guess, what I was conditioned to do, or maybe what I was programmed to do. Finish college and then get to work and then earn money, and then I don't know what's gonna be the next one. So I gotta work, 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 and stay in my job for as long as I can. But again, I got pregnant just after 3 months, and then I quit call center. But then I didn't get to have a long pause. I started working in a big IT company, IT consulting company in Manila. And then ever since then, I didn't have any pauses with my jobs. Like if I wanted to resign from a job, I would make sure that I have something to replace that. So I don't just quit right then and there if I don't want the management or the boss or my colleagues or whatnot. I always make sure that I have something to replace it. So so practically the life, because again, I guess during that time I could not afford to lose a job, because if you lose a job, you don't have salary. I will not get paid, you know. So I don't have the money to spend to pay the bills, etc. So I guess because of that, because I had to follow that kind of lifestyle, you know, be buried at work and pay the bills and be in that cycle over and over again. I wasn't able to explore enough in my 20s. And I've heard earlier from the video, someone said, I didn't really pay attention who was it. It was just like a very quick one, but he said, it's in your 20s that you should be exploring a lot. It's in your 20s that you should be taking risks, because you have still have that life ahead of you. And if ever, so the next one, the next mistake that I'm going to discuss is actually kind of related to this one, but I'm still gonna say this. And I can say this now. So if so when you're in your 20s, you have to explore a lot, you have to take risks, you have to um you have to really, you know, feel a lot of things, do a lot of things, be a lot of things, you know, because you are more um kind of like adventurous in that sense. And also, it's in your 20s wherein you still have that life ahead of you, that if you fail, you still have time to recuperate, to recover, right? Life, when you fail, life doesn't stop in there, right? Life doesn't stop at that. You can still, you know, pick yourself up, shrug it off, and, you know, try again. And you still have the time to recover whatever it is that you lost along the way, right? So that's my very that's my first sharing, guys. The mistake, one first mistake that I guess one of the biggest mistakes that I did when I was in my 20s, I didn't really explore enough. I didn't take a pause when I was working in the corporate world. I've jumped from four different companies, but I realized that even though a lot of people also knew that I have potential, I was too scared to jump into new things, to explore things that I haven't done or seen before. And I don't know where that fear came from during that time, you know, but now I've been reading and researching, and I've realized that it a lot of that came from childhood experiences and trauma. But of course, as we are now in our 30s, we cannot just, you know, turn back the time and redo all of these things. So that's why I'm sharing these to you now, guys. If you are in your 20s, early 30s, you still have time. So go ahead, follow your heart, do what you want to do, explore a lot, and it will never, it will always be, I mean, the result will always be something good, because you will learn a lot from those experiences when you are in your 30s, late 30s, 40s, and beyond. So that's my first message. The second mistake, again, as I mentioned earlier, is a lot, really a lot like this one as well. It's related to this one as well. So I didn't fail enough. And again, I had this fear of, maybe I was always like looking out for someone who will be there to scold me, to get angry with me, to and I felt that maybe I'm not ready to listen to what they have to say. You know, I wasn't really very open to that. Maybe because I was trying to remember during that time what was my attitude towards the work, towards the performance that I did, the promotion and everything. And I guess that's where my fear mostly came from. I always feared that someone out there will be there to scold me, and I wasn't prepared to like listen to all of those things. And that's, I guess, several times why I cried when I get frustrated at work. And maybe a lot of people doesn't know this, but yeah, I did cry multiple times at work during that time, and it was a lot of pressure. I guess it's not just the pressure from work or from the bosses or from the colleagues. It's also a mix of personal problems, issues, emotional outbursts. It's a mix of that, all of those things. So, and I guess I didn't really know how to handle it better during that time. But yeah, this is the second biggest mistake. I didn't fail enough because I was too scared. And I've always believed that if I did what I had to do, if I did push more or push for more in my early years in my career, and if I failed enough, I would probably be, farther, I guess, or higher, soared higher than where I am today. I could probably have gotten ahead, um, you know, a lot of times, like probably jumped from one level to another faster, things like that. So, but I'm not, that's actually, that's why I'm saying this, because when you are in your 30s, you realize that time is really not on our side. And again, you cannot take it back. You cannot go back and rewind and redo everything. It's just gone. So if you still have that time, I suggest that you avoid, not exploring enough or not failing enough. Just go follow your heart, do your stuff, do what you have to do, work hard, because they say that there are things that you can get without even working hard, but I don't really believe that, because what I've realized over the years is that if you really want something, it just doesn't drop in front of you and you immediately grab it. No. You really have to work hard for something. You really have to work hard for your dreams, your goals. And as early as now, it's good to be aware of what your dreams are, of what your goals are, so that you can, even if you want to be adventurous, even if you want to be risky, you can still get back up, and recover and recuperate, and shrug it off, do it again, and try again. So you will always have that time to do it over and over again. What but I guess the bottom line here is, in every failure, in every mistake, in every new endeavor or things that you wanted to explore, um, in every step, you will learn something. And that learning that learning will stay with you, and you won't be able to, you won't forget it, even if uh you might forget the situation, but the learning will always be there with you, and you will be able to implement or apply it in the next issues, the next problems that you are going to face. So that alone is priceless. And that's why I also love learning. So those are my two biggest mistakes in my 20s. And I hope that you got some inspiration, motivation from that, because it is a Monday today. And I hope in the next few days you'll be able to use that, explore more, and fail fail more, fail fast, so that you can achieve your goals, get closer to your goals every single day, every step of the way, right? So let's go now to the breaking news. Breaking the good news. What are the good news? Oh, by the way, before I start with the good news, um, so the last interview, not really interview, but the last go live session collaboration I had was with Kuya Joseph, and we discussed Canadian business and tax, and taxes. Yeah, Canadian business and taxes. So if you haven't watched that yet, please do so. Go to my YouTube channel, the Tambi's Adventures, and in my business page, in my profile, my FB profile, it's all uploaded in there. And the next interview session, the next interview live session that I'm going to have is going to be with Coach Claudine Irankunda. I hope I'm saying the last name properly. So it's going to be with Coach Claudine Irankunda. I'm still preparing the materials, even the cover, so I won't be able to show it to you tonight, but it's all set. It's going to be Friday in the morning. So this time it's different. It's going to be the morning because she is from the UK. She's one of our fellow business owners as well. Already have achieved several milestones in the business as well. And she's a coach, business coach, and she's also a mom like me. So if you're interested, stay tuned on Friday. I believe it's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or Toronto time for our live interview session with Coach Claudine to learn more about her story and her journey to entrepreneurship. So that's the next interview session. And then the good news. What are the good news? Of course, as a family, trying to have, or trying to get the permanent residency here in Canada. It's been almost 3 years of our journey. We started again, as I mentioned earlier, we started in 2022, 2023, for 2025. So April 2025 is going to be our third year here in Canada, and we haven't achieved the permanent resident status yet. We are still on our work permits, temporary residence, but we've already submitted our permanent residency application. And the good news is that we have received the acknowledgement. It's a big step in the PR journey, because even though we still haven't gotten the PR approval yet, it's a good start because they didn't reject it. That's one of the possibilities, but they didn't reject it. Instead, we got the acknowledgement that they got the application, and then they went back to us to ask for additional requirements or details from our personal history. So that's one of the good news that I received today. And of course, there's always a lot of problems. There's always a lot of problems. But if you know me, you won't be seeing that from me. It's gonna be very rare that you're gonna see me, dwelling on, negativity, on those kind of things, because I always try to pivot fast, when I receive bad news. And earlier today, I still have received some bad news, but I choose to dwell on the good news. So that's one of the best news, because we were waiting for that acknowledgement since the start of February. Since the start of February. According to the schedule, the processing times, we're supposed to receive that during the first week of February, but it didn't happen. It just happened today. And so we're really very happy that we received the acknowledgement, because that means that the application is ongoing. They are reviewing our requirements, the documents, and everything. And I hope that this is going to be a smooth processing. And then the second good news is that so this afternoon, early this afternoon, when my elder son, got home, he handed me an envelope, and it was a letter from the school saying he is invited to the breakfast. So I didn't really know what that meant, when until I, you know, until I read the whole letter. So that means, being invited in the breakfast means that he's going to be awarded as an outstanding student. And that for me is such a big win as well for us as parents who brought our kids here in Canada, because that's a proof that, our kids are also doing their best, in school, and we're happy that they've been getting these big opportunities in their life, in their youth, because we that's what we wanted. That's the very reason why we came here. It's because we want to give them a more diverse um, environment and opportunities as well. So those are my breaking news today, and I hope that also gave you inspiration, guys. Um, even though there are problems, even though there are issues, there's always hope. Keep in mind that God is watching, and He'll always be there to support, to guide us. Just ask. So that's what we always do. We always pray. So again, if you are interested to learn more about our online business, so just register your full name and email address in my website, or maybe you can just, send me a message, ask me anything about the business, and I will be happy to answer it back to you. Again, this is a free live info session. So we hold the free info session every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. EST. But if you won't be able to go to catch the live session, we always have the replay. If you get in touch with me, I can just send you the link to the replay. So that's it, guys. And I hope that you're gonna have a great week ahead. So again, we're gonna have the go live interview with Coach Claudine on Friday, 9 a.m., 9 in the morning, okay, Eastern Standard Time or Toronto time. So that's it from me today, and have a great night. Have a great day. God bless everyone. Bye for now.